wait a minute, we've been eating grass. I mean, I'm just saying that really to pay attention, that is the proper job of the mind. That is what we do. We're pros at this. There's some opportunities upcoming. There are more than this. I put just a few that are upcoming in the next couple of months. Up at Kripalu, I'm going in October. Dan Siegel is my most important teacher right now. He's a neuropsychiatrist out at UCLA. He has published extensively. His website is amazing with resources and free stuff. And he was up at the conference I just attended in August. CARE is a program right here in Garrison. It's contemplation and resiliency training for educators. A meeting is coming up right now in November. And Matt has already indicated, he's very supportive of people exploring some of this. So if there's interest, I'll send out an email, and if you're interested at any level, just say so. You can even say, I don't know, I might want to ask you one more question, that's it. But Learning in the Brain has major day conferences that are like all over the country, but they also are offering these one-day seminars, and they have a whole bunch of them coming up right now in New Rochelle. Different days focused on numeracy, executive function, reading, and memory. They're very inexpensive, and they're just one afternoon. It's like 10 to 3. So that's an easy do. The larger conference is up in Boston. I attended last year. It was phenomenal. This one is specifically about cognition, collaboration, and technology. Last year's was on executive function. It was terrific. The Neuroscience of Well-Being, Mindfulness, and Love. This is with Dr. Dan Siegel and Jack Portfield, whose work some of you might know. And that's right down in the city. At the end of November, it's just a couple of 2 days. And then online trainings, the Mindful Schools program, whose film you just looked at, that actually is being broadcast on PBS this fall, and we own the movie in its entirety. I bought it this summer. So Bill has it if you would like to look at that film in order to see more of their program. Terrific, but they're not the only one. The Mind and Life Institute, I could go on and on. So there's lots to draw from. My remarks at this point, I think, are pretty much done. I just want to thank you for your attention. It is the Simon Bale says, the rarest and purest form of generosity, and I hope, oh, that was 40 minutes. That's not too bad. So I'm happy to take questions, if any of you have any. Yeah, Charlie.
There are whole school programs to get the faculty to see how this is and how you would implement that, and then they go away and then they come back. And
yes.
This is not necessarily has to be done individually. It could be a program, right?
It could be,
school program.
as I was saying, there are a number of curriculum programs out there. There's one especially for the elementary schools that I like very much. Dan Siegel collaborated with, of all people, Goldie Hawn,
Right.
whose money went to the Hawn Foundation,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So they have a program called Mind Up. It's really cute, and it works. That's the program that they're using in the Chappaqua Elementary School, the Chatsworth Elementary School. Yeah. So no, it doesn't involve having to reinvent the wheel. People don't have to do it in some nucleated, isolated way. That said, we don't have to have a big new curriculum loaded on to begin to sort of shift a little bit the culture of how we interact with each other and teach our kids how to become aware and see how that plays into the habits of mind. Yeah.
How has you practicing mindfulness with your kids as an educator, how has that helped you personally, and how has that helped your kids? How has that enhanced what you do in the classroom?
Well, I can tell you today, just for example, Ridley's away today, so I had all the ninth graders yesterday, and I had all the ninth graders today. So they could get a little tired of my talking head, right? It's not mostly my head that was talking the last couple of days, but still, I'm the educator there, and they're 21 kids instead of just half that much at a time. So what I am able to do at the beginning of a class is kind of take a temperature as they come in, make sure I'm speaking to each one. I actually connect with each one by name, mindfully, deliberately, as they come in, so they feel seen, I hope. And once we've settled in, if we're taking a break, and I can just tell when their minds begin to wander, they're not listening as closely to each other. You know what that looks like. right? You know when they're a little bit more drifting away. So simply being attentive to that and having something to do about it allows them to shift energy and to become more productive. So for example, today I had them, take a break. I said, let's, shall we stir? And I did some of what I just did with you. What that does is it loosens things up. When they're kinetic, you might know this already, that when we play with each other, we are bonding. Nothing bonds like play. So to them, it feels like play. They've got their brain going. I had them do a lot of sort of pumping of their lymph because, as I said, they were all, snorty and coughing. They know I care about them. I'm reading them. I'm getting them. I have some ideas for what might feel a little bit better, and then I can actually do things that help them go from energized to settled and focused. And I got to tell you, back-to-back periods, we got a lot done, and they had to see me later to compose papers. These are things that are already familiar to them. 5 of them were in my class in the spring, but also just since we've come back together this term, we've been doing it a while. Now they know. So it's like, oh good, they feel better, they know things won't last forever, they know it actually kind of resets them. So I think, that at least initially is what I'm seeing, is that it creates a sense of connection, of trust, and as a real factor, it is helping them be more present and focused when we're doing the learning.
But what about those kids in your class whose reptilian brain kicks in and says, oh my God, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done. I'm so embarrassed. This is so stupid.
Yeah, so we've been doing it for a while, and that's sort of over. When I think reptilian brain, I think, not naming names, Andrew Pittman, and in that case, I balance it between one-on-one. Not everything happens in a group. We still have that place that we all use, which is you take them aside and you have a chance to talk. And if I see somebody feeling more awkward than engaged in some of those activities, it's always an invitation. It's never something I insist on. So if they want to take a break a little bit differently, which is just sort of standing up and watching everybody else do it, that's fine. I'm not calling anybody out or making them do something that makes them feel more awkward rather than more integrated. Okay, so I'll send out an email and see if any of this is something you would like to take one more step. There's a lot here that you can take a look at, and thanks.